the zoning portion, which if passed as is, 2,500, there could be 0.
Well,
Even though this shows no limit, depending on distances, the two together. So yes, it says no limit here, but there are only so many I-1 and I-2 areas within the city of town.
and I understand that,
Okay.
but my whole point is, if businesses are torn down or sold, and one of these businesses purchases it, they have that many more parcels.
There,
You understand?
So going through the map, I got a big map on the wall back
Okay.
there. Even, I cut circles,
Okay.
and I put it on the map, it's taped from Grandma. There's 10 locations where they could go, and that's what the building's there. So more than likely, there's going to be about 6. Now, if they tear down a building, they could get 7, they could get 8, but the market's going to bear only so much. But at this point, there's only 6 that I see can go in right now. And there's the maximum of 10. That's what I see.
Okay.
this is Susan.
Yes. Now, I'm going off the draft that I got, which is not, it was one that I received a while ago. I wasn't able to get in to get the new one. And on this one, in Article 3, under the specific marijuana business requirements, E, it states drive-through transaction operations are prohibited. So I don't know if that was transferred to the one that you all have, but it's in there.
9-3, is that?
I have 11, so I'm on the old draft, not the new. Yeah, it's chapter 11 that I have.
But that shouldn't change the note. What is the title of the line item?
The one that, it was, under the draft that I have, Article 3, specific marijuana business requirements.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Mine says page 17. 11, 16. Let's see, this would be 19, provision
Maybe
center,
Article
retail.
4, I went right past Article 3.
11-19, and it's, E. Under D.
Provision centers and retailers shall prominently display a sign near the point of sale area. They may engage in home delivery.
It's under B.
Oh, it's under.
I'm sorry, it's under C,
Under C.
D, and then E. C is registered patients, D is provision centers, E is drive-through transaction operations are prohibited.
Mr. Chairman, you're going to be looking at your document section 9-6 location criteria, item D. We are working through the document.
Okay.
Chairman,
Yes.
well, the document that I was working from, like yours, it listed in a couple different places. So one of the places that I saw was on page 126 or page 5, because my document had 2 page numbers on it. Limited contract transaction, curbside or drive-through sales or service transactions at marijuana sales locations. And I wanted to add or not permitted at any facility. And I also have that it was on page 126, page 148, and 131. So the one I was working for had it in there 3 times.
So, and the corporation council has that to just confirm, take away, and, because that was one of the councilwoman's main, just to ensure
That
that
was
no
the question
direction.
that was
Yep.
added, and that was what I found.
Okay.
I don't know if I should do this one now or next. It deals with the outdoor activities permitted, where they permit the,
That is in the next one.
Okay.
We'll get to that, but certainly I think
Okay.
that will be a point of discussion as well.
thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sousa. was discussion on the distances.
Was on what?
Was on distances. There's two different sections. One is the actual ordinance, and then the second document is modifying the code of ordinance.
Okay, but the ballot, you don't, can I say what the ballot said?
Go right.
It says the city of Taylor presently has an ordinance that prohibits recreational marijuana establishment. Ordinance, chapter 11, article 3, article 30. Should the city of Taylor, should the city of Taylor adopt an ordinance that repeals the ban on recreational marijuana establishments and instead adopt an ordinance to allow certain recreational marijuana establishments, but limiting them to the city's industrial districts with a minimum of 2,500 feet from each marijuana facility, schools, churches, libraries, and residential areas. There's two choices. A yes vote would support allowing certain recreational marijuana establishments in the city of Taylor, only in industrial districts and with a minimum of 2,500 feet from each facility, schools, churches, libraries, and residential areas. Or a no vote would support continuing the city's ban on recreational marijuana establishments within the city of Taylor. And you said that people voted yes. And so, but it's now redoing it. So shouldn't you put it back on the ballot for the next, maybe the August? I know that Taylor's not yet included in March, May 2nd election, but.
Yeah, there are no regularly scheduled elections for this year.
For this issue. Can I see
No,
that?
for this year. There's no regularly scheduled elections in 2023.
For Taylor, okay. Well, there are many places for other people to go, and Taylor's below the medium in the income level, and it might not be a very good look for a city of Taylor. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did we get your name?
No, Chris. Thank you.
Please come forward.
Kent Berg, 23033 Kensington. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Last year, many citizens of Taylor went out and gathered enough signatures to put a ballot question on the November ballot. Evidently, the corporate council, I believe, determined that the wording of the ballot question would have been illegal to place on the ballot because of the city charter. Rather than ending it there, this city council determined that they would put their own ballot question on the November ballot, for which no citizens collected any signatures. So the ballot initiative was voted on and passed by a majority of the citizen voters in Taylor. What the citizens approved was an initiative that said that any marijuana establishment must be 2,500 feet from any schools, churches, other facilities, etc. This is what the citizens voted on and passed. They didn't vote on 2,500 feet, and they didn't vote on 1,000 feet. A citizen is a person who belongs to a political community, such as a country, a state, or a city, and who has rights and responsibilities. The status, rights, and duties of a citizen are called citizenship. So many Taylor citizens performed their civic duty and went out and voted. Every single person, certainly including me, who voted, thought that the outcome would be what the majority of voters in Taylor would vote for. I mean, I think everybody thought that would be the case. Now it appears that the rights of citizens are ignored, and the council has stepped out of the room of servants to the city and has stepped into another room where lords reign over serfs. if the city council does this by political fiat, by just making a decree, it means by default that there no longer exists any such thing as citizens in Taylor. This last November, the people of Taylor gave their voice, and I voted against the majority, but the people of Taylor have spoken, and this city council now stands on the edge of making a decision to ignore the will of the citizens of Taylor. No matter what the benefits may be imagined by the council or any individual, I think that the cost to political goodwill in the city of Taylor would be severely damaged. And I think that this will be remembered by the residents of this city